It's sad how there are so many Americans who are so ignorant of the times that's going on today. They're so ignorant of what's going on in the 21st century, especially a lot of older folks that thinks that, oh, you could just get up, go to college, get a job, and you'll be all right. It's not that easy. Look here. All this information I'm going to put in the beginning of this video is to shed some light from all the ignorant folks or some of the Gen Zers that are talking crap, thinking that 100K is nothing, when they don't realize how hard it is to even get that amount of money. Read this. 16.9% of households earning is between $100,000 to $149,000. And these are yearly salaries. And look, this is from Reddit. 100K, aka six figures, is not common. It's not usual either. A professional with a 5 to 10 years experience will often earn that salary. 5 to 10 years of experience. Fields like engineering, computer science, programming, nursing, law, medicine, accounting. Sometimes business, because businesses, many cases, they fail or they don't last because there's competition. Read the rest. Salaries also tend to be higher in metro areas, aka major cities, lower in rural areas, or maybe suburb areas where less competition, poor job market. A nurse in Boston might earn 100K, while a nurse in a rural state like Ohio or Iowa or Mississippi can earn half of that because of the cost of living in that area. I'm going to link all this information in the description box and pin it in the comment section down below. So every person who does not know how to do research with a click of a button, or can't take their time to just Google information themselves, they can actually wake up and see that what they're saying is ignorant, is biased, and it's full of crap. I've came across so many YouTubers who are complaining, making assumptions that people with 100K, making 100K a year, is piss poor money. They're just talking. They're not even saying it. It's how they're saying it. It's their delivery. I've came across video reactions of other women who ignorantly thinks that making 100K a year, it's no big deal. Any man could get that. The average man is not making $100,000 off the rip as soon as he graduates college. And this is another comment. This is a response to the first Reddit comment that I screenshotted. Yeah, even in metro areas can vary widely in the cost of living. I'd say 100K in San Francisco is about the equal of 60K in Atlanta. Hard to judge how well off someone is off of this number alone. Common sense is not common. 100K could take you so far depending on the cost of living in that area and where you live, the years of experience that you got, and if some states or the companies that you're working for is even going to plan to offer you that at the peak of your experience. Just because you're 10 years veteran experience in this field, in this state, depending on the state, the area, that does not mean you're going to be guaranteed a salary of $100,000. Your maximum might be $70,000, $80,000 or $80,000, depending on the position, depending on the place that you work at and the area that you live in. And this is another screenshot. National average income, average salary by age, average salary, the average income by the state. National average income in the U.S. of 2023, $59,000, around $59,000. And who's below that? The essential workers, the regular 9-to-5 workers. making less than $40,000 a year, $30,000 a year. You also have to take into account the people who just has a high school diploma or a GED. Average salary by age. The highest average earners are aged between 35 and 44. Years of experience. Common sense. A man in his 20s is not going to make $100K off the rip. And this also depends on the type of career that he chose. Fresh out of school. If it's trade or college. Businesses is not guaranteed. So please don't come at me with that bullcrap. Everybody cannot have a business. 100,000 people can't have the same business idea because it will be scarce, and only a few people can have a piece of the pie. It's only based off convenience, where the business is at, how the business is going to perform, and you have to have an idea of what is going to sell. That's how businesses work. What's going to sell? It's like flipping a home. You buy homes, you flip them, sell them back to the market, sell them back to companies where they can rent out the property, and you get a share of that. You get a cut of that. Turn to Airbnb. That's another way people has their business. A home renting business. You're renting homes. You're a home renter. Guys, this picture here, this thumbnail that I added here, this is what it sounds like to me when people picture and say things like 100K is nothing. There are people making 100K and are struggling. Yes, that may be the case, but it also depends on the cost of living. It also depends on their lifestyle. It also depends how they're spending their money. I know people right now making less than this and has a lot more in their savings account, more than somebody that's making $100,000 a year. That's irresponsible with their money. That's not used to making $100,000 a year. You also have to worry about taxes. You're not making $100,000 a year off the rip. You may make that before taxes, gross salary annually, right? But after taxes, the more you make, the more they're gonna take. And this depends on the county of the state or the state that you live in, because it varies not only by state to state, but it also varies depending on the state's county. Different counties has different laws, has different tax brackets. Okay? People don't know how to do the simple research. People don't know how to do a simple research. Are you kidding me? I made videos about this in the past, debunking this so-called theory of so many Gen Zers and ignorant, delusional Americans thinking that $100,000 is not going to get you very far, or it's easy to come by when it's not. And some of these people are talking crap because they wish that they were making this amount of money. But that's not how it works. You ever heard of taxes? You ever heard of the more you make, the more they could take? And there are states who taxes you a lot more than others. And also depending on your marital status. If you're married, they take less out of your taxes than if you're single. When you're single, they're going to take more from your taxes. Oh yes, that's how it works. That is just how it works. Do your research if you think I'm lying. Google exists for a reason. And it's not just Google. Do your research. Look at the world around you. Common sense. Common sense today is not common. And it's freaking sad and pathetic. The math ain't mathin'. Americans out there who are this delusional and this clueless about finances, they really need to do their research. We are one of the most spoiled generation that we have so much technology around us at our fingertips that people seriously does not even want to take the time to look this up and do their own research. I literally heard women think that a lot of men out there are seriously making over $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 or $500,000 a year. How ignorant can you be? How closed-minded and delusional can you be? Seriously, how delusional, closed-minded, and unrealistic can you be? The top men that are even actually making that by themselves, probably they have to be a celebrity, or they're one of those top HR CEO people. The people that are high up there in the hierarchy that many people is not going to be able to touch. I already accepted in my early 30s. I am not going to be able to touch $200,000 to $300,000 in a lifetime, and most people won't. The average American is making $50,000 to $60,000 a year, and there's many out there making $40,000. Many out there, and you have to include taxes. So how much are you really bringing home after you get taxed? If you're thinking that I'm making $100,000 a year, but what are you actually bringing home to the table? What is the home check that you're getting after being taxed? I could be making $4,000, but after taxes, I could be bringing home $3,000 a month. You see how that works? You see how math actually works? It makes a difference to just calculate. It makes a difference to do your research. It makes a difference to look up every state's cost of living and every major city in every area. What is the minimum wage in this state? What's the wages in that state? How much nurses gets paid in California versus Texas versus North Carolina? Then you have to look at the areas. You have to look at the counties. Then you have to look at the cities, and you break it down from there. It's really strange how ignorant Americans are in 2024. 2024, 2034, 2044, 2054. The economy, it's where it's at. It may be harsh. It may not be at the right place. But that does not mean you should focus on how much money this person is making, how much money that person is making. You got to focus on you. $60,000 to $70,000 to $80,000 for a single person is very well off, especially if you live in the right area where you're not overspending, you're budgeting, you're saving, and you have a good credit to manage. Don't spend your money. And don't overspend what you can't afford. For instance, you may have a few credit cards. The utilization that they recommend that looks good to lenders, you have to spend about less than 30%. You spend a certain amount every month, you're expected to pay that balance back in full. If you can't afford to do that, then you might have to change and adjust your spending habits. That's what's called sacrifice. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people today does not know how to do that. Or they don't want to do that until they're in harsh circumstances where they have no choice but to grow up, and they have to accept that, okay, this is real life, this is reality. I got kids to think about, or I got myself to think about. My rent just went up. My bills just went up, but my wages is not going up. Or my rent is going up, or my bills is going up to the point where I can't keep up with the cost of living, or I have to now readjust to be able to afford my rent and all these bills. And for those of you who thinks you can't get a home off of $100,000 alone, yes, you can. It depends on the house, and then it depends on where you live. People just want to go for the top luxury homes. What if you can't even do that? Why can't people just be grateful for having a roof over their head? The home I'm renting right now, and for those of you who are curious, and just to remind you, I live in Somerville, South Carolina. The home I'm renting right now, around Somerville, I'm spending about $2,100 a month. And I'm not going to give the exact number. I'm spending around $2,100 a month on rent. On a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home. It's me, my wife, our 2 kids, and we have a few cats. We have a backyard. We have the garage, up and down stairs, and we have parking. We have available parking. We could come and go as we please, and we have the space. We may have to we also have to follow HOA policies, because that's also what a lot of homeowners or new buyers for homes should also look into. Follow the HOA policies. Read the HOA paper. You have to follow their laws as well. And it's actually a good thing and a bad thing, but I don't want to get too much into that. Just do your own research yourself. I'm not the tip-top professional in that department, but all I'm saying is that I'm just keeping it real, guys. Too many Americans out here are really blind and clueless about how finances work, because they don't want to hear it. They're ignorant. They're delusional. They don't want to hear the truth. Everyone out here is going to have to face it one way or another. And when you face it, there's nothing you could do about it. This is real life. Either you got to suck it up, deal with it, make adjustments to your lifestyle. Everybody's not going to be an Instagram model. And people should stay off of social media, because social media is also what's keeping a lot of people. And it's also creating a false reality for people that this is how they believe that their life should be. Stay off the social media, please. I got a 2015 Kia Soul vehicle. Am I complaining about, I want to get the top luxury car? Even if I have the money for it, you think I'm going to really be wasting my money to get that type of vehicle? That could go towards my kids' future. That could go towards meaningful things. That could go towards going on vacation. You don't need the top quality, nice luxury things. You just need something that works. You just need to have a roof over your head. That's how you have the top quality of life. Not holding on to materialistic possessions. Things that are not going to matter. When you die, the house that you bought is no longer going to be yours. It's going to be for someone else. If you don't have any family members who's not going to claim it, that home is going to be bought and it's going to belong to somebody else. Everything in life is not forever. Everything in life is temporary. We don't own anything in this life. Everything is just physical, temporary. It's now or never. Wake up, people. This is going to be the last time I'm going to cover this topic, because I'm not wasting my time making videos like this. People should just need to figure out themselves. You need to figure things out. Do your research. Casual Talk here. Peace out. Let me know what you think.